Now I'm unmuted. And it's showing, I'm seeing my audio go up and down on here, showing me that they can pick up my voice.
That's your computer.
No, my computer's muted. It's the Hinckley conference room. Perfect. Thank you.
Apologize.
No problem. So are there any requested amendments to the regular meeting minutes from November 3rd? I'll entertain a motion to approve of the regular meeting minutes from November 3rd, 2022.
So moved.
Moved by Crew.
Second.
Seconded by Marzullo. Ms. Engelmann, will you be voting on this?
Oh, I meant I was abstaining
For
for both
both.
of these, so yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes from the regular meeting have been approved. We have no old business. We have one item of new business, which is an amended final site plan for the village at Hinckley Oaks. After the entryways were poured at the village village at Hinckley Oaks, which has been previously referred to as senior housing, it was discovered that some of the entryways where the islands are located were a bit narrow, particularly for fire department turning in. And so if I can share my screen for one moment. What you're seeing on the screen is a map that shows a diagram that shows the turning radiuses for our fire engines to enter into the village at Hinckley Oaks. And as you can see, a particular concern was on 303 pulling in, coming from the east towards the west. The fire engine would have had to go left of center in order to pull into the community. So as a result of that, we worked collectively with the developer, Medina engineer, the zoning department, to identify some resolution that we could widen the roads adjacent to the entryways where the islands are located. So if you look at the other diagram that you have, they're proposing amendments to both entryways. On the entrance side from 303, they're adding a proposed sidewalk that is 4 feet wide. That proposed sidewalk was initially actually already proposed on the exit side of that entrance. And so they're just moving it to the entry side of that entrance to give them an additional 4 feet of space. While that's labeled as sidewalk, it's actually built to the road standard. So it's the exact same specifications as the road. It's just labeled as sidewalk and it will be colored differently. They have these sidewalks throughout the community actually. So they're just extending it down on that side. On the other side, they cannot do a 4-foot sidewalk because of, I think it's fire systems. Is that correct? It's fire, isn't it? There's a water vault on the other side. So instead they're doing a 1 foot, a 1 foot of additional pavement on that side. That side was of less concern to the fire department. They already ran their engines through, have tested these, and they feel comfortable with this new proposal. On the 303, or excuse me, on the West 130th side, they are proposing the 4-foot sidewalk on both sides of the island. So that will make those slightly under 16 feet wide at the island ways for the 3 sections. And then the other section will be just under 13 feet. So after speaking with legal, because our resolution requires that any amendment to the final site plan come before us for review and approval, this was presented, this is coming back to us now, just to look at those 4 amendments to the final site plan and seek approval of those. Are there any questions? And I believe we have representatives, but I didn't think that you need, if you would like to speak, you're welcome to. If you have anything else to say.
I mean, I'm here representing the LLC. So if there are questions, I will.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, you mentioned there were 4 amendments. Can you just list them? Because
Yeah.
if I understand the 130th entrance, that 4-foot sidewalk on the
There.
south side was already there on the original plan? Or?
I think that it's an addition. Let me pull it. There was a sidewalk on the west 130th. Are you? Yeah, let me share this screen. This was the site plan that we already saw. And so I can explain you the differences here. This was a proposed sidewalk leading to to 303 on this side.
Mhm.
That one was 4-foot proposed sidewalk at that time. They're now shrinking that down to 1 foot
Mhm.
because of the water tank.
Right.
On this side, which is West 130th,
Mhm.
there was a sidewalk on the entry side,
Mhm.
but it did not extend down beyond the island. So
So
their
what other-
proposals are to extend this
Gotcha.
one, add one over here,
Gotcha.
add one over here,
Mhm.
and remove this one, instead replace it with a 1 foot
Okay.
span
All
of
right.
concrete.
It's the extension.
Correct.
Okay.
So those are the 4 just identified.
This
expansions.
was the previous plan, and what you see now in front of you is the
Yeah.
proposed modification to that plan.
Okay.
And as I said, fire department has reviewed this and feels very comfortable with this proposal.
I'm good. Matt, what are you looking for in here?
Just reviewing a couple things. I don't think there's any issues.
Inspector Wilson, you don't have anything to add, I would.
No, as you said, the fire department took care of equipment. They're satisfied. That was kind of the main reason this all came up, and so.
I think this was a great resolution. I appreciate the developer for working with us to reach this resolution.
Were the sidewalks in the original plan too?
Yes.
And then we asked them to pull them because we didn't want it all the way up to the to 303.
No, they have the sidewalk essentially going up to 303 on this side anyway. So we didn't
Okay.
pull the sidewalk. The sidewalks that we were predominantly focused on at our meeting were these public, what they call public sidewalks,
Mhm.
which are the sidewalks that are leading to the adjacent parcels.
Yep.
We didn't have much discussion at all about
On
these
the- on the
sidewalks, which are the ones that
internal
extend all throughout the community.
Yep.
They're just adjacent to the road. It's
It's
essentially
it's
another
just
continuum
widening the
of-
road.
It is,
Yeah.
just with
Okay.
a different color
Yeah,
concrete.
for safety. So,
Correct.
Yeah.
Demarcation.
Yep.
So if there are no other questions or concerns, I would entertain a motion to approve the amendment to the final site plan.
so moved.
Moved by Marzullo. Seconded by Manley. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Motion has been approved. Thank you very much. That concludes our new business for tonight. So the only other thing that I have is a notation that our organizational meeting with a regular meeting to follow will take place on January 5th, 2023 at 7 p.m. I have asked that we work to make, well, the zoning department, particularly Suzanne, and I have been talking about trying to work to make our organizational meeting requirements more consistent with the BZAs. So I'm going to, in the next month, start looking at those and comparing them and providing proposed changes to our organizational minutes. I'll do a track change version and send it to you so that at our organizational meeting, you can look at those and see if those are what you feel is appropriate or not. And then we'll look at that at the organizational meeting. Outside of that, just want to note that we do have an open board position The deadline for resumes is December 9th at noon. So if you're interested in submitting a resume, please make sure it's to the township trustees by that point. And information about that can be found on the website. Anything from Ms. Crew?
Nothing here.
Mr. Marzullo?
Just one thing. I've had multiple people come up and approach me in the community. And I just want to make sure that, Marcus, you're aware, there are people that are asking about your interest in specific parcels that we've been rezoning. So I just wanted to let you know that there's interest of people throughout the community and give you the opportunity to clear that if you need to.
I have not been interested in parcels that we've been rezoning. I looked and started discussing an offer for the property on Ridge that's just south of the business district. As everyone knows, prior to our rezoning, I made an offer for the Icon building, which was up at the north side of 303. And then the only other property that I've looked at and actually under contingency for is a property over in Mattingly, which is a residential property. So I don't know what property would be.
And
involved in
it was
anything.
nothing that I could independently verify. That's why I wanted to ask you directly and give you the opportunity to,
Oh,
and
and then
anyone that has any questions
Yeah.
about it, say,
I looked at the school, but that was after the proposed amendment. I just had discussions with several people about coming into the school property, but that also didn't work out.
okay.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Mr. Mayor,
I have nothing to add.
perfect. Ms. Singelman.
I would just echo Mr. Marzullo's comments that I had heard directly that there were recent inquiries into property on Ridge Roads.
That was
Don't know
probably,
if that was part of our if that was part of town center. But
no, it's the residential parcel directly south of M&T that's up for sale right now. I looked into it because I was trying to acquire 20 acres for my personal residence. And that one, it wouldn't work out because I wanted more utilities basically. So I found a parcel in Mattingly, but that's again for my personal residence.
but otherwise, nothing.
How do you guys hear all this stuff? Sorry, I didn't hear anything.
Genuinely, people just come up, like people I don't know will just ask me stuff at Foster's, at the post office, whatever. I'm like, "Oh, all right.
I do want to share an email that we received from Mr. Spellman today.
Can I have you stop sharing your screen?
Oh, sorry. From Mr. Spellman today. He said, "Good afternoon. I was hoping to attend tonight. However, due to a last minute conflict, I cannot. In lieu of being there in person, I wanted to share a few words of appreciation with this group. 2022 has been an amazing year, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to sit on the zoning commission for a second time. It's a true blessing to work with a group having so many unique perspectives, ideas, approaches, personalities, etc. Yet, even as diverse as each of you are, you share something in common. You love Hinckley. You want what's best for this township. You act with respect. You act objectively, and you all stepped up to be active leaders. To be a part of this is very humbling. For me, this year started off with a bang, perhaps alleged controversy in my appointment, a January organizational meeting that went 0 to 60 in under a second, and a few citizens that didn't agree with any of it. And to that, I want to thank you. Thank you all for taking the time to understand me and my perspectives and for allowing me to contribute. You gave me a fair opportunity to serve on this board, and I'm grateful for it. Continue to drive well-rounded legislation, and please push for more conversation and preservation within the community. I wish you all a wonderful December and happy holidays." So I want to echo what Mr. Spellman said with respect to me coming into this position this year. I'm very much a rookie at this, and you guys have handled it with grace. You've been very humble in the way that you've worked with me. I've always strove for respect, responsibility, and civility was what a headmaster told me when I was in high school. And I think that this board and the public in general has conducted themselves so well this year with respect to that. And I'm so grateful for what we've accomplished this year. So thank you. Is there any comments from the floor? No. If there are no other comments, I would, Trustee Augustine, do you have anything? Mr. Wilson, anything?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Perfect. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn at 7:20 PM.
So moved.
Moved by me,
Second.
seconded by crew, all in favor?
Hi.
Meeting.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Well, that's the first time we've ever ended that quickly.